And welcome to this edition of Iron Sports. I'm Spencer Darlington. Well, this evening we have a comprehensive review of the first test match between the West Indies and Pakistan, as well as the latest developments in international cricket. And also we'll take a look at what's happening in the Contender Boxing Series for 2017. Let us know what you think by heading to our Facebook page, and that's Iron Sports JA. So we take a break now, but stick around. We'll be back with much more. And welcome back to Iron Sports. And of course, the West Indies were comprehensively beaten by Pakistan by 7 wickets at Sabina Park on Tuesday to trail their 3-match series 1-0. Now, the Caribbean men must win at least one of the next 2 matches in Barbados and Dominica to maintain their proud record of not losing a home series to Pakistan, dating all the way back to 1958, where the Windies have won 4 of the previous 7 completed series. And of course, we have joining us now to discuss what transpired in the first test, the former Jamaica and West Indies off-spinner Nehemiah Perry and our local cricket analyst Chris A. Gale. This is, I said, our local cricket analyst, not the Chris Gale who has been globe-trotting playing 2020 cricket all around the park. Gentlemen, good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Nehemiah, let me start with you. It sounds like we're really regurgitating because series after series we continue to come and say, where did the West Indies go wrong? But let me just get it from you, your take as to where they fell down in this opening test at Sabina Park.
Well, first of all, they were outplayed by Pakistan. Pakistan played a better cricket on the day, so you have to give them credit. It's an inexperienced West Indies team that goes up against a fantastic team, a team that is gelling well together. There are some very good players. And if you notice how they play, they were very professional about what they did. We had when you look at 2 debutants in the top 5, I thought was an error there on the selection part. They could have probably played Jeremy Blackwood somewhere there. He has some sort of experience there. And when you look at even the opening batsmen, they didn't have a lot of experience either. I don't think Craig Brathwaite played more than 30 test matches yet, and Kieran Powell was just coming back into test cricket. So you needed someone there in the middle to settle things down just in case of you lose some early wickets. Not saying that Jeremy Blackwood is that kind of person, but at least he has some kind of experience.
Mm-hmm. What you have said, almost it's pretty much a general consensus. I look at Brathwaite's statistics here, Nehemiah. 34 test matches before this Sabina test. 2,214 runs, 37.52. Blackwood, 22 test matches, 31.33. So Blackwood is second only to Brathwaite in the batting averages. And as you rightly said, when you look at the 2 debutants, no Marlon Samuels, no Darren Bravo, it meant the batting department was highly, highly inexperienced.
Yes, but Spencer, when you look at it, Ed Meyer was coming off some runs in the game in Trelawney. He scored 90-something runs, and Visual Singh scored 130 runs. So they basically got selected based on current form. But if you go off statistics, then Blackwood would have gotten the nod. So I don't know, and I mean, sometimes the selectors, they do get it wrong at times, and sometimes they get it wrong. Well, I'm right, but sometimes I really think at this time, they got it wrong.
Chris, when you look at the 2 debutants, as Nehemiah spoke about them, and to put Hetmar at number 3, that is a big task. A number 3 batsman in the present West Indies scenario over the past few years is almost like an opener, or you're supposed to be like an opener with the technique and so on and the requisite skills. A Blackwood, should they have gone then with his experience, allow him to fail at least in the first test, and then take it from there?
Yeah, definitely. I think Blackwood should have gotten the nod over Hetmyer. We look at the last test match that Blackwood played against India, when his place in the team was on the line, and he came up chumps. He got 2 half centuries. Every now and then he keeps giving you that big half centuries. Probably you can probably say that he doesn't push on to 100, but again, second best to Craig Brathwaite, you'd have to play him. And again, Hetmeyer, I think he's a good talent. He's definitely a good talent. But there's his temperament, having a youngster just coming from under 19 and putting him at number 3, I think it's a bit too much. And his temperament, to me, having watching it in previous game, doesn't seem like a number 3. I think he'd be prefer suitable at coming at probably 5 or 6.
But as I said, Nehemiah, this number 3 position is highly critical, isn't it? So who then at number 3? What about the West Indies batting order? Could it have been shuffled another way? Because I've been hearing some arguments, and even Jason Holder has now come forward to say, look, he reckons he's in some form. He wants a promotion, or he's looking forward to a promotion in the batting order. To what number, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think he's pushing it, you know, to have Jason Holder even with the workload coming in maybe in the top 5. You know, but it worth a shot. I think that when you look at the structure of the team, it was very difficult to have to even change it, because if you have 2 debutants, some inexperienced batting, somewhere along the line you have to have them in, I would think, in the top 6. You know what I mean? So I don't think they could have done anything differently than what they did, and hence the result. But you know, sometimes, you know, I heard someone keep saying, you know, people keep saying, boy, you know, Hetmeyer is young and he's 20 and so on. I remember when they gave Graham Smith the captaincy for South Africa, he was probably about 22, 23.
22, yes,
right?
I remember that.
And he grew into the position. And sometimes, you know, you have to put them in and you have to expose them. And then that's where you have coaching now. Will then now look and see the flaws and then make the adjustment and strengthen the position.
Chris, we keep hearing and keep saying ourselves, this is a young team, it's an inexperienced team. Don't we have to be a little cautious? We don't give the impression that there are so many more experienced players out there who are being overlooked. How do you view that scenario at the moment?
Well, I think there is not much inexperienced players out there that has been overlooked, apart from the harsh treatment of Shivnarine Chandapal. I saw a score the other day in county cricket. He was still getting runs. I think we're not allowing our players. Like, I think the board have probably treated the inexperienced players, a tad bit unfair. And then some people would say it's their decision to go and play franchise cricket. But I think when the players come into the team, or I've seen when they come into the team and starting to establish themselves, that's when the problem comes. When they start to establish themselves, then also that the need for them to go and play franchise cricket. And I think the board has to come up with a plan as to how they better manage our players and select our players, and also the whole selection policies that going into selecting our West Indies team to getting our best team out there on any given test series. And I think for me, I think one definitely person that was overlooked, I felt was overlooked, was Jason Mohammed. He played well in the one-day matches, right? And he came off some good form, and he's coming up against the same Pakistan team that he did well. I think for me, he would have been probably an automatic pick. I don't think we can go ahead and label players as one-day players, as T20 players, as test players. I think you
don't think we have that luster right now?
No. I think if you're good enough to play, I think you can look at a player and say you're good enough to play cricket at the international level. I think if many persons did that to many players, for example, wouldn't have seen the best of them in world cricket.
Nehemiah, look here, where do we go for the second test now in terms of changes? I haven't seen any new squad being released, so should we presume they're going in with the same 13?
I would think so. It's kind of difficult to really give someone one test match and then get rid of them. I think they need a run, and it's fair, really. One test and then you're out. I don't see any major changes. I don't think we need to be panicking as yet. I think we need the players themselves to have some sort of confidence in the selection process that, you're not under any pressure. You want to go out there, forget about selection and just play your cricket, normal cricket, your natural, the way you know how to play. And forget about, if I'm going to end this test match, I'm going to be out. That is putting too much on yourself. So I think they just go out there, enjoy them cricket, and it will work out. It will play off in the end.
Chris, what about the bowling department? Because one of the concerns surrounding the West Indies bowling for the past few years is that it lacks the killer instinct and the ability, the capacity to take 20 wickets in a test match on a consistent basis.
Well, the bowling to me is definitely short, and it's not coming up trumps. We have injury concerns over Shannon Gabriel, and then when you have Jason Hula as the captain, who is, I think he's probably third change. I think for me, I would need a bit more firepower than a Jason Hula. I think Jason Hula, for me, his batting is more superior to his bowling at the moment. So I think we're short of, we're definitely short of probably one more fast bowler in the team.
Nima, so many recommendations have been put forward in recent years about how we could improve the standard of West Indies cricket. Franchise cricket is right up there on the top of the agenda once again. How much can this contribute to or improve the standard of West Indies cricket at the moment when you look at what the different franchise cricket that's being played at the moment?
First of all, you have to go to the base. That's my recommendation, is to look at your base. And right across the region, the school cricket, club cricket, under 19, under 17, has to strengthen. If you don't strengthen those areas, no matter how many franchise cricket you're gonna be found out.
Oh, how do we do it though?
All right. First of all, you need to make sure you have the best coaches at the schools, right? And I would go to some further discussion on a committee that I am a part of, and I would suggest that the most of your resources need to be spending at the grassroots and at the school level. The club, because there's no way you can have a club and then when you get the feeding, the school is supposed to be a feeding ground to clubs. And then when you get to the club, then you have to be showing youngsters the basic. No, that is wrong. If you spend 5 years at schools, when you get to the club, it's supposed to be an advanced level now. To get to Jamaica level, because it's a ladder, right? When you're showing a school as how to field, the straight, long barrier, how to throw balls, at club level, we're way behind in our preparation and how we go about coaching these kids, because once you get the base right, you only can go forward and go and elevate yourself.
Quickly, we're out of time, gentlemen, but let's just look at one more thing here. This West Indies-Pakistan series, how do you see it panning out?
Well, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for this present team. You really feel sorry for them. I think they're trying their best. When you look at Misbah, he faced over 200 odd ball to score 99. The Yunis Khan faced 100 and plenty ball to score 58. They are spending time at the crease. I think that's what we need to do. We need to spend some time at the crease. I think once you put the runs on the board, then it will then fall into place.
Chris, I give you 10 quick seconds.
Well, all I'm asking of them is to compete. And I think once they show that they can compete and just not roll over and play dead. And also the first innings in each match is key. Because if you get all out for 200 or for 150 in the first innings, you're going to start chasing the game and looking to save the game on the last day.
Clearly. Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming in this evening. I'm quite sure, all being well, we'll talk again probably at the end of the series. Thanks a lot. All right, we take another break here on Ion Sports. When we return, we'll switch the focus to boxing.